Well, hello folks. Good morning. I hope you're all well. Just setting up the stream here. We're covering the G7 event today. We're just about to see the arrivals of the world leaders. Welcome to our live coverage of this broadcast. The G7 leaders meeting together, which includes Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK and the United States. And also it involves, they'll be joined by Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar, as well as the Secretary General of the Arab League. So they're discussing today many of the latest developments and issues that we've been covering. So I decided to show this event. They'll be discussing the Russia situation over it's on today and tomorrow, this conference. They'll be discussing the Russia and Ukraine situation. They'll be discussing the Middle East conflict, including the ICC, International Criminal Court, ruling that they wanted to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. They'll be discussing that as well. And also various other things. So, they're just about arriving. So I'll just show you a couple of things before we go to it. Go to the link we have. Hello everyone, welcome. Good to see you. Hello Mud, thanks for modding. Good morning. So foreign ministers meet in Italy. So this is just outside Rome where this is taking place. And also, by the way, Antony Blinken will be meeting with Pope Francis as well. Foreign ministers meet in Italy for the last G7 of the Biden administration. Rome, foreign ministers from the world's leading industrialized nations are meeting Monday with the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East entering decisive phases and a certain pressure to advance diplomatic efforts ahead of the new US administration taking over. Hopes for brokering a ceasefire in Gaza and Lebanon are foremost on the agenda of the group of 7 meeting outside Rome that is gathering ministers from Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK and the US. On the first day of the 2-day gathering Monday, the G7 will be joined by ministers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, the UAE and Qatar, as well as the Secretary General of the Arab League. With partners, we'll discuss ways to support efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza and Lebanon and stability in the region. The so-called Quint grouping of the US, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt and the UAE has been working to finalise a day-after plan for Gaza, and there is some urgency to make progress before the Trump administration takes over in January. President-elect Donald Trump is expected to pursue a policy that strongly favours Israel over the aspiration of the Palestinians. And the Italian host added another item to the G7 agenda last week after the International Criminal Court, the ICC, issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Gallant, I believe, and his former Defence Minister and HAMAS military chief. Italy is a founding member of the court, the ICC, and hosted the 1998 Rome conference that gave birth to it. So, that's on the agenda today. Also, Blinken is attending the G7 meeting in Italy, US State Department says. And as I said, he is due to meet during his November 23rd to 27th trip. Blinken also plans to meet Pope Francis at the Vatican following the G7 talks. G7 leaders last Saturday reiterated a pledge to give imposing severe costs on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine through sanctions, export controls and other measures. And as I said, this is one of the things on the agenda, this recent ICC arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and the leader of that group as well, as you see here. I just can't say it. But G7 foreign ministers are meeting near Rome for 2 days of talks with regional counterparts on the Middle East before turning to Russia and the war in Ukraine. But the group of 7 ministers will discuss the International Criminal Court's arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The ICC issued warrants against Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant in response to accusations of crimes against humanity and war crimes in Israel's war in Gaza. So that's something else they're going to be discussing on the agenda today and tomorrow. We will be bringing you live coverage. Let's go over to the G7 now, where they're just arriving. The leaders are just arriving in Italy here in Rome. And so we'll be covering this morning, showing these world leaders arriving. But also we will hopefully have some coverage of some of the speeches and discussions today and tomorrow. But some of them will be in foreign language when they are done. So if they are, then obviously we can't. There's no point us covering certain things. So we'll see how it goes. But as you just saw, what's on the agenda for the G7 meetings.
Devo aspettare qua, stanno arrivando già. No, un quarto d'ora qua. Modello.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I really appreciate you being here as we cover this today. So if you just joined us, please do scan back to the beginning where we're showing kind of the things that are going on. Give the video a like if you would. That would really help us. If you could click like on the live video, that helps the video get out there. So we should see the representatives of all the nations I read out, the UK, US, Canada, France, arriving soon. Germany. So this is taking place just on the outskirts of Rome. Hello, Final Odyssey from Japan. Good to have you with us. I'm going to do a poll quickly, actually. I'm going to do a poll because one of the things they're going to be discussing here is this ICC warrant. I'm going to do a poll here and see what you guys think about that in terms of the outcome of it. Let me just, you'll see it come up on the live chat in just a second. I'm just doing the poll for you. One sec. Okay, the poll should come up on the live chat. Give us a vote in the poll and let's see what you think to this question. In terms of the what's being discussed, one of the major things that's being discussed here in the G7 event. That's good. Yeah, we're seeing a few votes come in. You should see it on the live chat when we do it. It's there now. Because I know I read an article where someone who was, I think it was someone who was close to President Trump or someone like that. They in America they said, I'll see if I can bring up this article for you actually. Yeah, it was this one. It said, Trump will crush UK, as in the economy, I think it means. Trump will crush UK if Starmer helps arrest Netanyahu after ICC issues absurd warrant. A leading Republican senator warned that America would sanction any ally if they tried to help the ICC. A senior ally of incoming Donald Trump has warned that the United States will crush Britain's economy if Sir Keir Starmer helps arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu following an International Criminal Court arrest warrant. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham issued the stark warning to Starmer, claiming that nations who follow the ICC's ruling would face severe economic consequences. Graham told Fox News, if you are going to help the ICC as a nation and force the arrest warrant against Bibi and Gallant, I will put sanctions on you as a nation. To any ally, Canada, Britain, Germany, France, if you try to help the ICC, we're going to sanction you, the South Carolina senator added. Thanks for voting in the poll. Just to see your opinions on this. Where are we at now? I'll just have a look at the results. Yeah, give us a vote if you can. We've had 41 votes so far. If you have the live chat up on the YouTube app, give us a vote on the poll. You'll see the question there. So far, it's very divided. It's quite spread out, the results.
UK is coming, sta arrivando l'Italia.
Sorry about this technical issue here. This is just going to sort itself out in a second. So yeah, this is taking place just on the outskirts of Rome. As I said, please do, if you've just joined us and you want to see some of the latest updates, please do scan to the beginning of the live stream, and you'll see some of the things we've been covering. We are meeting in, we're in the live at the meeting at G7 in Rome, and you'll see all the delegates arrive in the coming 20 minutes or so. From all the major nations, and as I said, there's some Arab countries also joining this today as well, because they will be speaking about the issue with Israel and the Palestinians and Gaza, Lebanon, and different things like that as well. Abba up. I have my opinions. I'm not going to say them myself right now. I'm just letting people express their opinions first. But thanks, Ben Case. I really appreciate it. That your support for the live stream. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. And as I said, apparently Blinken will be attending, according to the US defense, and he will be meeting with Pope Francis sometime after this G7 meeting. So I don't know exactly what they'll be discussing. But thank you for joining us, everyone. I really appreciate you being with us today as we cover the opening of this G7 meeting. Really appreciate you coming along. This is part of our new live coverage, which we do very regularly. And anything that goes on in the world we cover with these professional licensed live links and live streams, which are all above board or pay for them. So, we're doing this as part of our coverage of different world events to show exactly what's going on in the world, what's being pushed in the world, and to show people the latest in things that are important to So, by the way, I'm sorry if you just got an ad there. I did that by accident. I'm sorry. I don't know if you folks just got an advert come up. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, thank you, Ben Case. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. So what do you think that Blinken will be speaking about with Pope Francis? What do you think the idea of that is? The results of the survey, yeah. So we've got so far we've got 58 votes. We'll try and get a few more in on the survey. If anyone else wants to give us a vote on the poll to get a bit of a larger number of votes, so we could weigh up the results a bit more. But it's quite divided at the moment. At the moment, it's 28% think yes, the ICC decision to put out an arrest warrant for Netanyahu is right. 56%, 55% say no. 16% say not sure. Yeah, that's right. The Pope is definitely involved in a lot of political issues and very much at the forefront of those things. So the first session of this today will be dedicated to the situation in the Middle East and the Red Sea. I assume by Red Sea they mean Yemen, where they're firing at ships, I would assume. So the first session is dedicated to the situation in the Middle East. One session today will include ministers from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, the UAE and Qatar, as well as the Secretary General of the Arab League. We have asked for the presence of partners in the region to foster dialogue with the members of the G7. Only together can we, quote, find concrete solutions that can bring peace and stability to the region. And then tomorrow, the talks will turn to Russia and the ongoing situation in Ukraine. In the presence of the Foreign Minister of Ukraine, officials will discuss ways to continue supporting Kiev, prospects for peace and initiative for future reconstruction, Rome said. The same day in Brussels, ambassadors from NATO countries and Ukraine will hold talks over Russia's firing of an experimental hypersonic intermediate range missile. Tensions in the Asia-Pacific are also on the agenda of the G7 meeting, and the Italians have invited foreign ministers from South Korea, India, Indonesia and the Philippines. The G7 ministers are also expected to discuss the ongoing crisis in Haiti and Sudan, as well as the political situation in Venezuela. So that's today, as it said, today is the topic is the Middle East conflict, and tomorrow is the Russia situation with Ukraine. I don't know when they're going to discuss the ICC arrest warrant issue for Netanyahu. I assume today, yeah, if they're talking about the Middle East. The ICC issued warrants against Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant for crimes against humanity and war crimes in Israel's war on Gaza. In Gaza, Israel and its allies denounced the decision, but it was welcomed by Turkey and rights groups. No surprise there. Several countries have said they would comply with the ICC warrants and arrest Netanyahu should he enter their soil, including Ireland, while other nations were still considering their response to the decision. And also just to say that this has just happened, this press release has just come out, that the UK has imposed a new wave of sanctions choking Russian oil revenues, with Foreign Secretary arriving in Italy for G7. 30 ships in Russia's shadow fleet responsible for transporting billions of pounds worth of oil and oil products in the last year alone have today been sanctioned by the UK. Latest UK package of sanctions against the shadow fleet targets 30 ships. And also, I don't know if you've kept up with it, but there's been a lot of talk in the last few days about this kind of hybrid warfare thing, where there's, it's being said that Russia is engaging in like forms of hybrid warfare where, they're doing various things to European countries. That's the claim, that Russia is doing certain things in the grey area that doesn't quite cross certain lines, but is like a form of warfare. So that's what has been talked about a lot in terms of what's been going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which. I know that Anthony Blinken is going. I don't know which. Oh, there's the guy on the right is from the UK, isn't he? There's all sorts of. I think they're mainly ministers. Blinken on the left. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're showing today. I think, according to the schedule, the conference for the Palestinians, the special envoy of President of Palestinian Authority speaks at Dialogue for Peace session in Rome here. That's on at, well, just about an hour. So we might have to go and, well, come back in an hour to cover that. I'll see if it's worth covering. Because at the moment they're going to be kind of getting ready for these things, and it's going to be another hour. So what I might do is come back, because we don't have a live link for a little bit while they're sorting themselves out. And there is an opening speech soon, but I believe it's in Italian, unfortunately. So I don't know whether it's worth us covering that just now. We don't have a translator for it. So, yeah, I think we'll come back. We'll come back in a bit and see if we can cover the Middle Eastern talks and the Palestinian Authority guy, and that's in the next hour or so. So yeah, please do subscribe and click the notification bell to all notifications, so that if we do go live, or when we do go live, you will get notified directly. This I am looking to expand this, just to give you an update. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world. There's you've got the Russia situation, which, there's different things that could happen with that, and also we've got the latest words from. There was something that came out from Iran, where, let me just see if I can bring that up, just to show you that came out. I think it was yesterday. Anyway, there was someone from Iran that basically said that they something about the retaliation against Israel. So we'll see what happens with all these things. And then, of course, over the next few months, there's lots of different things going on. I mean, we've got the inauguration in January, which I'm sure we will have live coverage of that and live cameras for that as well. The inauguration and various things. So please do give the channel a subscribe and click the notification bell to all notifications, so that you can see when we do go live. What's the results of our poll, actually? Oh, you're welcome, Martha. Hopefully this is helpful to show you kind of an independent source of information to see what's going on in the world. With the poll results. So I'm going to end the poll. So we got just short of 100 votes, and 55% of people watching our stream today think that the ICC decision to put out an arrest warrant for Netanyahu is bad, it's wrong. 28% think yes, it's good, and 15% think not sure. Samuel, there shouldn't be a problem on the Telegram. It's only me that's actually a mod on there. If anyone wants to join the Telegram, the link is in the live chat, and also Facebook is there as well. I've just put the links in there if you want to join those. Anyway, so we will leave it there. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back soon. Thank you. Take care.